Sign up today for a 7-day free trial at alerts.chartguys.com. Hey everyone, dealing with a little bit of background wind and waterfall noise, but checking in on the MJ sector. For the most part, we can ignore the fact that we had less trading in the US side of things on Monday because there wasn't any major shifts. So for the major names, I'm going to use the US names, and for the US marijuana stocks, I'm going to use the normal Canadian tickers, which will have the extra day of data figured in. But as far as I'm concerned, it's the levels on the US charts for the major Canadian marijuana stocks that we need to still be paying attention to. So we started out today with a good start to the morning. CGC bulls broke the high of Friday. Good start. But we knew that if we could not break 25.97 and then saw weakness, that a 4-hour equilibrium was a possibility. And I have taken off extended hours just to smooth things out here. But why were we looking for the possibility of a 4-hour equilibrium? Just percentage based. The fact that we pulled back from the high of the bull move to the initial low of consolidation, it was significant enough for us to be looking for that potential of that equilibrium forming. And that's because it was a 9% pullback, and that means we need 10% plus in order to see just straight up continuation. It was possible. The bulls could have seized the bulls by the horn. They did not do so. So we rejected and we dropped down. We have our high of 25.97. Our low of the pullback is 23.65, the most important short-term support. Our lower high was this morning at 25.64, and now the bulls must hold 23.65 to remain in this pattern. There's a potential play off this support level tomorrow if we can hold it first thing and start to bounce. And a break of 24.31 for me would say our 4-hour higher low is then set. So it is possible that we do see weakness tomorrow and lose the 4-hour uptrend. But it is also possible that that support level can hold and we remain in a 4-hour tightening range into the end of the week. So what I'm going to be watching first thing tomorrow closely, can 23.65 support hold and can we remain in this tightening range? Cron on the daily time frame already broke its short-term resistance. But again, we know CGC is the backbone of this sector right now. If I look at this daily chart, and I'm new to technical analysis, I say, man, Cron broke resistance and then dumped down to the low of the day. Technical analysis doesn't work. This is junk. What a fake out. No, CGC did not break its resistance. It is the sector leader. It pulled back and it took everybody with it. Doesn't matter if your individual name broke resistance, it's going to be correlated to what CGC is doing, which is why we need to be watching multiple names, even if we're only in one name. If Cron's my horse and I'm all in, I need to be watching what CGC is doing regardless. So the low of support right now is 8 psychological. We have not formed a daily higher low on Cron since 663. So anything above 663 is a higher low and no major red flag. Hourly time frame, pretty significant pullback the second half of the day, but we're not close to oversold conditions. We would have to drop down. Pretty much we'd have to break $8 if we were going to see oversold conditions on the hourly chart. So there's a potential playoff $8 support tomorrow morning first thing. If CGC holds its low of 23.65, I would imagine that Cron is likely going to hold $8. From there, we're just looking for an hourly lower high to be set on Cron. Anything under $9 is an hourly lower high. Double bottom at $8, rejection from $9, psychological levels coming into play. APHA, also with a bull break. They had some news this morning about some European certification for manufacturing. I didn't read it in depth. I'm on vacation, but check out that news release if you are interested in those fundamentals. But again, can't escape that CGC correlation. We broke all resistances on APHA. Even 561 broke, only by 2 pennies. But we broke to the highest price on APHA that we've seen in almost 3 months and closed near the low of the day. Again, completely due to the CGC correlation. Daily higher low is 508. Anything above that keeps the daily uptrend intact. Have we changed the weekly trend? Technically, we broke that level of 561, but I consider that a double top because we broke it by 2 pennies, less than 0.5%. So the way I view this weekly chart is a low, high, higher low, double top. We need more follow through. We're not going to look for this to be a weekly equilibrium unless we lose the daily uptrend, which is still intact at this point. So that's something we're watching as well. ACB, daily higher low trying to form. Anything above 150 is that higher low. Is hourly RSI oversold? I don't know. just touched it today right into that bounce. The low of this candle at 194, this hourly RSI was in the upper 20s, 29 or so. We then saw a bounce from 194 into the end of the day to 201. A nice little 3% bounce in the first hourly oversold conditions since the big bull move. We need an hourly trend change for the daily higher low to be established, keeping in mind that anything under 216 is just an hourly lower high. So if I'm a bull here looking for a daily higher low to be set, I want to see a morning start tomorrow up over $2 to 206 or whatever. Pull back, hold the low of today, and then break the high of tomorrow to change the hourly trend and give us the daily higher low. There's a number of names that we're looking for daily higher lows to form on, and ACB is one of them, keeping in mind that comparatively, it is still nowhere near shaping up its longer term timeframes the way that CGC and APHA and Curaleaf and all these other names are currently set up. TLRY, bull break, no follow through. Anything above 1956 is daily higher low. That's the most important support for me. Resistance 2295 and 2380. Bull flag confirmed. Again, if we are trading in a vacuum and it was only TLRY and no other market influences, this is exactly what you want to see to start the week. But again, CGC taking everybody down. OGI pulling back and looking for a daily higher low. Support after 298 is 262. Watching the hourly RSI, because if we hit hourly oversold conditions, again, just like ACB saw a 3% bounce, entirely possible OGI sees a bounce from its first hourly oversold conditions after a short squeeze earnings reaction, worth keeping an eye out for tomorrow. I am much more comfortable looking for daily higher lows in hourly oversold conditions to begin scaling in a couple positions. Hexo, close at the low of the day, looking for a daily higher low compared to 125. Size of the pullback at this point tells us that even if we form a daily higher low, which is still the most likely scenario, we're just looking for a daily lower high. We pulled back very significantly, and an equilibrium is the most likely result of this current setup. Where's the hourly RSI? It's oversold. So if we drop down tomorrow first thing and break 150, definitely worth scouting, scaling in a couple positions, looking for 125 to try and hold. Keeping in mind, how do I use correlations? And I'm in the middle of a correlation free educational video that I will hopefully post by the end of this coming weekend. But in this example, if CGC loses its 4-hour uptrend and breaks that 2365 support, I know that names like Hexo can pull back even further, and that RSI on the hourly can get even more beat up. If CGC holds that 4-hour support, I know the odds that we form a daily higher low soon increase a good bit. VFF, looking for a daily higher low. Hourly RSI at this point, getting right close to oversold. If we break 577 tomorrow morning first thing, hourly oversold conditions will be there, and we're looking for the higher low compared to 516. Size of the pullback, same thing I just said on Hexo, looking for an equilibrium to be the most likely result from this current pattern. So who are we looking for a daily higher low in? VFF, ACB, Hexo so far. And again, we're not going to anticipate nailing the bottom of the daily higher low, which is why I personally prefer to scale in a few orders. Just as an example, if I wanted to enter VFF tomorrow, I would be looking for an entry, first order 571, next order 551, stop loss under 516. Labs, looking for a daily higher low. Anything above 360, same thing. Size of the pullback, equilibrium, makes it the most likely. What's the hourly RSI at? Just above oversold. We will be at hourly oversold if 377 breaks first thing tomorrow morning. Add it to the list of names we're scouting a daily higher low. VLNS, very nice recovery today, held the low of yesterday. No red flags on this chart. If we break 389 and break this daily inside bar bullish, our new daily higher low is 373, and we're looking back up at 407. This is one of the better looking charts. Again, if we had pulled back at this point to 350, we'd be looking for an equilibrium. But because we have not pulled back that much, the retracement is not that significant, the potential for continuation remains. Onto the US side, IIPR. So you could look at this as a 4-hour equilibrium. It's not crystal clear, but the high and low on the same candle, 85 and 80.52, lower high at 84.69, and now the bulls need to hold 80.52 to stay in this tightening range. If we break 80.52, we are still in a daily uptrend as far as I'm concerned. But again, just as I pointed out, that's when we shift from potential continuation to, most likely, equilibrium. Curaleaf, bear break. So potential daily bull flag is out the window, but we are still in a daily uptrend. Anything above 760 is a daily higher low. Hourly RSI, hitting oversold for the first time since the bull move. Definitely worth scouting for an hourly oversold bounce tomorrow. CWeb, daily higher low is now established at 1091. Bulls have to break 1183 for continuation to confirm this bull flag. If we fail 1183 tomorrow and drop down and break 1142, we have the same setup as CGC with a 4-hour equilibrium, and CWeb has not been correlated significant to CGC, but definitely catching my eye for a very similar 4-hour setup. TRUL, we're looking for this equilibrium to continue to play out. So we've got our low, high, higher low. Anything under 1549 is a lower high, staying in this tightening range. And if we see a break of the low of today tomorrow, and actually the most important level for me is 1380. If we break 1380, our lower high has been set. And we'll then look for a higher low compared to 1292. Tightening range. Why is that not surprising? In the slightest, because after huge volatility, equilibriums are vast majority of the time the result. IAN. So again, daily bull flag attempt. Failed to break the high. Further consolidation. I would still consider this a daily uptrend, but again, losing a bit of that momentum, and we need to patiently wait for an hourly trend change to give us the daily higher low. This is a perfect example of not buying a bull break, and this is why, someone asks me if I make a video and highlight the key 216 resistance a week ago, and someone says, well, should I just buy the bull break of 216? I can't answer that question because not all breaks are equal. If we had set an equilibrium, got real tight, and then broke, absolutely buy the break of resistance. But because we broke 216 after 5 days in a row of a higher low every day, we had bounced at that point off of the low of 175. By the time we broke 216, we have already gone 25%. So do I like a bull entry on a break of 216? No. Unless you're flipping it for a day trade real quick. But that's just an example of names being too extended on the bull break and now need a daily higher low to form. CL, equilibrium. Is it a possible head and shoulders? Yes, that is still a possibility. We would have to break 745, but in my opinion, it's not likely that we see just a straight drop from our current high and drop 17% just straight down to a lower low. If you ask me what is the most likely scenario, historically speaking, from all the charts I've looked at, I would expect a higher low compared to 745 and to stay in a tightening range. The odds that we just see a straight 17% drop are not likely, and we would have to see notable bear volume for that to take place. So we're scouting for a daily higher low compared to 745 and looking for the range to continue to tighten. GTII, also one of the strongest names still. Possible daily bull flag, absolutely. 1370 resistance, still in a daily uptrend, holding on really well. I would say GTII and VLNS are currently positioned the best out of everybody that we looked at. Harv, looking for a daily higher low, anything above 373. Big upper wick today, but just losing some of that momentum and needs a new daily higher low. So daily higher low watch for a lot of names. The most important thing for me in the sector most important thing in the sector for me, 4-hour time frame CGC. Can we keep that support level, or are we going to see a 4-hour downtrend? If we keep that support level, we keep the possibility of a daily bull flag alive. A handful of names, we already went through them all, looking for daily higher lows after multiple days of pullback and still lots of space to maintain a daily higher low. And GTII and VLNS standing out a bit stronger than everybody else. So that's where we stand. We'll see what tomorrow brings. CGC 2365 support test will be top watch for me, first hour of trading, and we'll see how we take it from there. I appreciate you watching. Hope you have a good day. We'll see you soon. We'll end it here with a video from yesterday, and I want you all to know that I sacrificed walking in barefoot across seagull poop in order to get these shots.